Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, by Shem HaRakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great males on the real world. And Shalom to the brothers doing like Syrian truth. Uh, yes, brother, I'm the one from the gym, it's London camp. Got this article on the Daily Beast, and it's funny because it's Russia, beating the war drums, which that's been them for like the last no, it's been them for the last little while, man, almost a year. Them men have basically been like, stamping their hooves, shaking their head, man, prepping to charge. And why? It's because the Lord's got that spirit back on them, man. Read this. So it says the Russian public is being primed for another of Putin's wars on the Daily Beast. It says what? Domestic propagandists and state TV pundits are promoting the idea of an inevitable confrontation with the West as Russia's military posture grows increasingly hostile, causing major concern for its nearest neighbors and NATO. Ukraine remains a crown jewel for the Kremlin, and the Russian public is being primed for the intended absorption of more territories under the umbrella of the Russian Federation. Yeah, and that's kind of what they're looking to do next. And it's, just like with Crimea, NATO's basically going to be like, yo, chill out. They're going to have to see to what extent they're willing to go to defend it. Because similar thing with like China and Taiwan, where they're talking a good game on both sides, and China's really looking to do what they're gonna do, especially after Afghanistan just completely went to shit, and Russia already did their thing with Crimea, so they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna do what we're gonna do. Fuck y'all. Says intended absorption of more territories under the umbrella. Da, da, da. World War III is knock at our door, warned one top propagandist. Whether or not the Kremlin is planning to speed up its creepy assault. Are they even going to tell me who said that? Well, whatever. So whether or not the Kremlin is planning to speed up its creeping assault against Ukraine's Donbass region in the near future is a mystery, even to the most knowledgeable experts with close access to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Nonetheless, they eagerly fulfill the Russian leader's expressed intent to keep NATO and the West in general in a state of hypervigilance. Yeah, it's kind of been like that for a minute, where it's just like, hey, Russia's doing what they're doing, but then as well, it's like Europe's been making deals for the Russian gas, so they're de-incentivized, to look to engage. And then it's like, hey, is America looking to get tangled up, at this moment? But really, it's about prophecy, because you got the 5 winds, man. When is it? It's not. Is it 7? Yeah. Revelation 7:1. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Yeah, so the wind's being held back. That's why you don't have, at this minute, Russian troops, American troops being released en masse, and blowing each other up, shooting laser beams, fucking drone striking, all that, because it's the wind's being held back. That's gonna happen at its appointed time. That destruction's gonna come. That World War III, that mass conflict is gonna go off. But what? It's being held back. That the wind can't blow. And it says, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we've sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads. So yeah, they're basically going to hold back that destruction Until what? Until the time everyone's sealed, and it's time for what? For judgment to come to pass, man. It goes into this what? The elect basically getting sealed, man. And that's how the Lord's got it going down. It's gonna happen within his times, man. Such as what Ukraine's non-affiliation with NATO remains at the top of the Kremlin's long wish list, with Putin demanding serious long-term guarantees that ensure Russia's security in the region. The real issue is not that NATO presents an acute threat to the Kremlin, but rather that its involvement stands in the way of Russia swallowing additional Ukrainian territories. Putin's objectives with respect to subverting Ukraine remain the same, with two different paths to getting there: by securing Ukraine's submission and undermining its sovereignty through unwarranted concessions from the West, or by escalating Russia's military aggression. So yeah, it's basically what do you call that? Like they're just looking to do what needs to get done, so that they're gonna get be able to dice up Ukraine as they please. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of these conflicts, they're happening because why? Because land, resources, and they're trying to build their power base. Just like NATO is basically that power base for America, and America is what is the weapon of the elites, and these confederacies are basically made, to be able to wield, the will of the elites, and then direct everyone to be like, okay, look, this is how we're gonna move, because what that mass conflict, mass level of conflict, mass level of death, and basically bringing a level of crisis and heightened crisis to where everyone will basically be looking towards Esau's system, looking towards a beast for that solution, man. And that's really what it is. It's all about, breaking down the people, bringing in the chaos, so they can then what? Bring in there. Look, we got the solution, man. And then come to that, that order out of chaos, man. When they bring in their solution is meant to bring everything, to peace. But really, what? You're just bringing yourselves underneath their system of rule. So where was it? I was gonna jump in. So it says, what, in a message addressed to U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken on the state TV show 60 Minutes this Monday, Korochenko said about Russia's military buildup, if your satellites are seeing this, that means it's being shown to you. Any American military analyst at the Pentagon can tell you that. And you don't know and won't know Russia's real plans and goals. Your human intelligence gathered by means of interpersonal contact is either blocked or neutralized, or is feeding you disinformation. In course of the operations conducted by Russian intelligence services, you need to relax and aim towards constructive interaction. So yeah, basically saying like talking mess, and that's really what's been going down between them. Man, they've just been talking a whole lot of mess, and it's why, because they're basically being just like built up. They're at each other's necks, man, at each other's throats, ready to go for the killing blow. And that's why as well, China is linking up. Knows that as well. Where was it? So I saw yeah, in Newsweek. It says what, US bombers flights prompt Russia, China to announce military cooperation, and these guys have done cooperated. They always do drills together, and it's kind of like they'll just link up and do joint drills to kind of like be like for the to show, hey, look, whatever interest thingy's backing, one guy's backing, like China's looking towards Taiwan. They're saying, look, we might be doing drills in the ocean or drills on the coast or whatever, blah blah blah, together, to show that these guys are backing what the others down with. So This is what Russia and China approved of a roadmap on Tuesday that aims to improve the military relationship between the two countries, the Associated Press reported. It's on Newsweek. It says what Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu and Chinese Minister of National Defense Wei Fenghe met on a video call to discuss the partnership. The two countries expressed a shared interest in stepping up strategic military exercises and joint patrols. Yeah, so they're just going to be moving to be like, hey, look, if you want to do this, like, we're backing it, we're down. And that's the thing is with this conflict, it's like upsetting the relationship between China and Russia and the West is gonna fuck up all kinds of shit. That's why it's like once this thing goes down, man, it's done. Like how life, just like it's like with how this whole pandemic situation's gone down, it's like life as you knew it in like 2019 and before. That shit's gone out the window. That shit ain't coming back. Like people are still had the that figment of a dream of like, oh, it's gonna go back to how it was back then, but that is swiftly being swept away into the abyss, man. That shit's being done. That shit's a myth, and people are really realizing like, yo, that's a wrap. It's like, well, it's not gonna happen. They're like, yo, it's gonna be some new shit, and that's why like the easiest path towards, well, as far as for people that are seeing it, the easiest path towards like, hey, look, what do you call it? Making all those things acceptable is just what they're just thinking like, yo, just let just comply, just get down with whatever you need to get down with, so that you can just not be hassled and just have as much ease as possible within the system. And that leads to what? What's the other one I was gonna get before? Oh, Isaiah 13. Actually, I'll get that as well. I forgot. Isaiah 13, and let me just start on 17. It says what? Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And now, the Medes, talking about in present times, that applies to these Russians, man, to these guys, these Ruskis. That basically these guys have been there as far as them militarily and how they operate. They're in a much rawer state. They're a rawer form of Esau, They're a rawer form of him in how they conduct themselves. And it's funny as well because it's like the last place they were dwelling before they got raised up in the Renaissance. It was in Georgia. The mountains in Georgia, Russia. So they're kind of in that place where Esau's in that his beast style state. So they the way they move is more raw. There's certain things that they just don't fuck with. And they don't really. They're looking to just get down with some madness, because as far as it's like, the guy that's ahead of them now is Putin. That guy was ex-KGB, man. He was out there whacking dudes, man, doing that. Like Russia's had some madness going down, man, since Esau, raised up in there and took over. So then what? They like says what against them which shall not regard silver, and as for gold they shall not delight in it. Yeah, the monetary deals or whatever, or any kind of means to placate them, they ain't gonna ride out, man. They're just gonna be like, yo, fuck it, because they're just, it's like they said, they're just being roused up for the battle, man, roused up for war, which links up with what Ezekiel 38. Their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. Yeah, they're gonna go completely raw. That ancient form of warfare where they're just going in and riding out and doing a madness upon anyone that they can find, or within what? Not society, within when they get into that war set mind frame, they're just doing what needs to get done. And that's how, and the Lord's going to put the spirit on, man. Because that's the thing, is this is the winds of that mass destruction, man. That final end of this place, the big end of Esau's rule, where it all comes to an end. As such, what? It's the Lord ain't going to be holding back. It's going to be a complete and total destructive judgment where it's hey, everyone's gonna be messed up, man. Said bodies gonna be littering the earth, man, like dung, man. Just like now, you'll see, like you're walking around the sea, you'll see bird shit somewhere, you'll see dog shit somewhere, you'll see fox shit somewhere. Like just in out and walking around, out and about, you see horse shit somewhere. Like that's how you're gonna be seeing dead bodies. So it's like if it's gonna be that amount of death, then these guys ain't gonna be playing around, because they're gonna be a big part of the conflict of the guys that are going against each other. And it says in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, Babylon, which is being upheld as some form of great legendary, the new Babylon, America, man, it's being held up like it's on a whole different level, a whole different spectacular, level of existence, where it's like, oh, we've never before had these levels of wisdom and technology and understanding and capabilities where, we're moving like gods on earth, because we've got all these technologies able to control and do all forms of things. Anything we dream to do is at our fingertips. They're really thinking like it's they've ascended to a superhuman realm. That's how people kind of look at it. They're thinking that they've got the keys to life within their hands. They don't realize all that is bluster, man. It's bluffing. It's BS. It's like certain things have been given to you. The Lord's allowed certain things that you to deal with things on a certain level. But then it's what? It's for the sake of prophecy, man. Because you need to be able to fulfill certain things like the Charagma, being able to, make the ICBMs, set your nest among the stars. All these different things need to be need to come to pass for the sake of prophecy. But then what? It's like beyond that, then it's like, what? Okay, you're done. As soon as you did that, it's like you've had that swift decline, which you can still see happening around you, man. It's like the knock-on effect. It's like 2008 really showed like the whole monetary system is just done. It's whack. It's pretend. It's make-believe. And then if you look at how they're just pumping out trillions upon America's just pumping trillions and trillions and trillions every few months into the economy. And then it's just like, what do you think that's doing on the global scale? Now you just got inflation hitting everywhere globally. How's that meant to be sustainable? But why? It's because now is the time of the end, man. Now is the time where all those systems are going to be thrown in the bin. All that nonsense that's run for a little while is going to be done away with. And these elites are going to be trying to lock in their new world order. And then what? The Lord's basically going to, as they're in the midst of doing that, they're trying to pull that off. Then just, Esau's going to get caught with his pants down. And then Israel's going to get raised up, man. Yahushua going to make his return. This place is going to get put on smash. But yeah, I'll leave it there. Shalom. Shalom.